Hi, my name is Ever Adventurous, and I love going to costume events, engaging with my favorite stories and genres through immersive events, and creating themed adventures for myself and my friends. I am by no means the ultimate Nexus expert, but it is one of my very favorite conventions to attend, and this will be my third year going, so here is some of my advice for how to make the most of your experience. If you want to hear my thoughts about last year's convention or last year's ball, go ahead and check out my video for that. Picking up your badge. If possible, I think it's best to come into Salt Lake a day before the convention so that you can settle in and so that you can take advantage of early badge pickup on Wednesday before the convention starts on Thursday. Whichever day you do pick up your badge, be absolutely sure to not leave your picture ID. You must have your picture ID to pick up your badge, and you must have your ID to get into the ball. So when you're changing outfits or whatever might throw you off on that, do not forget your ID. Where to stay. Dragonsteel gets discounts on hotel blocks, so you'll want to book those as soon as possible once the information for that is out. Airbnb is also a good option, though beware because sometimes they can be the ones to cancel on you. Travel. DragonsteelNexus.com also has a link for discounted flights from Delta. The easiest way to get from the Salt Lake City airport to the downtown area and the convention itself is through Trax. It's pretty affordable, and you'll likely also see other convention guests. If you want to prepare to use it, go to rideuta.com to look at prices and information on an app that can also make it easier to use, and I'll put that link below so that you can find it easily. Keep in mind that the elevation might be higher than what you are used to, so you might find yourself out of breath or especially feeling dehydrated. So drink more water than you normally would. It's also very cold in December in Salt Lake City, so make sure to bring a coat if you are going to be walking any long distances or seeing the sights. It's misty. It's magical. I have my sweaters on. It's cold! Regardless of how long you plan on being outside, pack some hand lotion and lip balm. Once you get inside the convention, there is limited room for a coat check, at least there was last year. And if you don't want to deal with the line for the coat check, you can also try something called Dragon Drop-Off, which is something that Dragon Woodshop, a vendor at the convention, offers. Besides selling their wares, they also rent spaces of boxes where you can put your purchases or things like coats. I used it last year. It was so helpful. Click on the shop tab, then click Dragonsteel Nexus 2025 to read more details on that option. Where to eat. There are very limited options in the vendor hall. You can also take some time to go across the street and over the Sky Bridge in the shops at Riverwood Mall. They have a food court and some restaurants if you're willing to take a little extra time to go to lunch. Thankfully, you can bring food into this convention. So my best tip would be that you eat a very solid breakfast at the beginning of the day, pack lunch and snacks in your backpack for the convention, and then wait until the convention is over for the day to go out to dinner. Set a budget and do your best to stick to it. Think about what matters most to you. What are you going to put your priorities on here? Is the most important thing to you having a really comfortable and close hotel room that will be easy to get to at the end of each day? Is it going to be being able to afford a ticket to the ball or being able to bid on really high tier items that the Lightweaver Foundation might have available? Is your priority going to be shipping back all of the goodies that you bought back home? And if your budget is really low, like mine tends to be, window shop. This is a silly one, but this is something that I often do to cheer me up. Just set a price. Maybe it's $200, $500, $1,000, whatever's going to be fun for you, and just pretend you had that much to spend. You can even write it down in a journal or take pictures just to remind yourself of your little deluded fantasy of what you were able to buy. I find this a lot of fun personally. Maybe that's weird. You can also keep this as a reference for your birthday or next Christmas. The next thing that you need to prioritize is your time. I think it's a great idea to to choose some overall intentions for the convention. And I mean this in a more ambiguous sense rather than a particular panel for this first part. So what's your goal with the convention? To engage with and meet other Brandon Sanderson fans? Is it to be inspired as an author and to meet other authors and network with other authors? Is it to show off your cosplay and to celebrate your fandom? What is your main why for the convention? And that will help you with your other choices going into it. Next, choose 3 big concrete items that you're really hoping to engage with at the convention. For instance, my main hope this year is to make it to the World Hopper Ball, and I probably won't be able to make it to all 3 days this year, so I definitely have to really think about my priorities. So with that as my main priority, that means I have to mentally prepare myself that, okay, that means I'm leaving a panel early to go wait in line. That means that I'm missing out on splurging on the vendor hall this year. Other big goals that you might have for the convention are completing the convention game, which is a major activity they do at Nexus each year. The chance to play in an RPG game there, or maybe getting the Grimoire signed by all of its authors. The Grimoire is this anthology that's created for the convention every year with most of the authors, if not all of them, in attendance. So we've made 3 goals for the entire convention. Now I would suggest making 3 goals for each day that you're going to be there, 3 smaller ones. So on Thursday, your 3 goals might be the panel that you have to attend that day, the author signing that you don't want to miss, making sure to meet it to a certain cosplay meetup, or getting a certain craft finished. A lot of you are going to schedule out every hour of the convention with highlighted charts, and honestly, that's a great place to start from. Just be ready not to sweat the small stuff and to stay flexible. You very well may end up tossing your plans for something unexpected that comes up. It's totally okay to DNF a panel if you need to get to somewhere else, or if it's just not holding your interest. The convention game might be the main item you need to consider as prioritizing your time. Decide beforehand how important it is to you to finish the convention game and whether you are wanting to get the ultimate finisher's prize for the overachievers who go above and beyond, or just the general completion prize. There's usually 2 tiers of prizes, depending on how much you do. If you go all in, expect to dedicate a lot of time to it. And even if you're just wanting to finish the general completion prize, it's still going to take a lot of your time. Next tip for the game is ask other attendees and staff for advice on the game. Check in with others to make sure you understand all the working parts of it, especially with staff. Last year they had certain staff members that could give you stamps that really helped the game go faster. Be ready to go all around the convention for this. And the fact may be that the game isn't your priority, and that's okay too. If other things are more important to you, be ready to let it go. Engage with the community. There are so many opportunities to meet and have fun with other fellow fans at this convention. First, I'd suggest joining the Sanderson Collectors Guild on Discord so that you can start chatting with people right now. You can get hyped there with everyone, ask for advice. Sometimes they'll even plan meetups together, like tea before the convention or creating a cosplay group together. Another great opportunity to interact with fans is World Swappers. This is where you bring something handmade or purchased to the convention to trade. You can bring however many items you want to. Some people will only do 1-for-1 trades, while others are happy to give them out to everyone. To get ideas for that, join the World Swappers Discord server, and I'll link that below as well. Another fun activity is the Doug Hunt. This is offered by Dragon Woodshop, and it is where you have to find 25 unique words on name tags, with everyone wearing a name tag that says Doug. And those who are able to find all the names can be entered to win a prize. Info for that is at dragonwoodshop.com. Socialize, talk with those in line with you. Chances are, if you're both at this convention, you have something in common. And they're probably even wearing something that can help you figure out how you could start a conversation about a certain book. It's also a good time to chat up people to see if there's any way they can help you with the convention game. Compliment people's cosplay cosplays when you see one you love, or people's crafts that they've made. There's honestly so much creativity that goes into it, and people really appreciate it being seen for that. Don't be shy, just respectful. And if someone doesn't want to chat or doesn't want a photo taken, conventions can be really overwhelming, and we all need time to breathe. And if you are the one who needs a moment, just say something like, "Thank you, I'm charging my batteries right now. I am a stick." Okay, vendor haul tips. This year they are doing early access ribbons that you can buy for $10 each. That gives you 1 hour earlier access. And if you can only get them one day, then here's some pros to each day. The first day is good to go early because then you can get your name into the drawings first. They usually have giveaways where you put your name into jars to win different tiers of prizes. And if you are the first one on the floor, that means you're only competing against 1,000 other people. Maybe even less if you put your name there first. And they also have multiple bowls, so it's not all 1,000 names in one bowl. If you don't want to go straight to raffles, you could also go straight to the Dragonsteel store. This usually has a massive line on the first day, so it's good to get there first if you're worried about something selling out. The only thing that I've noticed really selling out on the first day is certain t-shirts, and it's usually not the convention t-shirt. If there's a particular content creator in attendance that you are hoping to meet them at their booth, that's a great time to meet them without waiting in as long of a line. Also, sometimes the book booths will have different signed editions of books, so that's something really good to hit up early on. Friday is a good day to go early because that's when you can get a signed copy of Tailored Realities before they are sold out. The last day might be good for early access because last year, at least, I know there was a really big line for the final step in the convention game. Being in early access for that would have been very helpful. And bring things for people to sign, even those who don't have official signings. There are so many artists involved with the books that are usually there. The Dragonsteel team is there. And even if you didn't get a signing with a particular author who has those scheduled, sometimes an opportunity opens up. Final tip for the convention floor would be to bring a rolling cart for your purchases. If you don't have that drag and drop off service, likely one of the things you'll be buying is books, and it's going to be heavy. So these carts would be really helpful, maybe something like this. And you could also probably tie a coat around it to carry that around. Cosplay tips. First tip is to enter the cosplay showcase. This isn't a competition, so it's all fun, no stress. Second cosplay tip is for photography. If you are taking a photo of someone in cosplay, or if you are having your photo taken, giving them your info, your Instagram or wherever you want tagged on the same camera that they took the photo on. So if they take a photo on their mirrorless camera or their DSLR, have them take a picture of your business card or your Instagram name right afterwards. Then that way they'll be right next to each other as they're editing. Same thing on their phone. They'll know who to tag later on so you can see the photos. Huge cosplay tip. You should cosplay in the first place, because if you ask Brandon a question during one of the panels, or if you run into him at a signing, even just in the hallway sometimes, you could get a cosplay pin. This was one of my favorite things last year, and it made me really happy, and it's a nice, unique pin that you can't buy. So basically, if you interact with him, his staff will have these on hand to hand out. Hit up the meetups for cosplay. Sometimes they'll do a Mistborn cosplay or a Stormlight cosplay group. It's a really fun opportunity to get a group photo with fans of the same book. Take time to stretch before and after getting in and out of cosplay, especially if it's a really heavy cosplay or something where you haven't really been able to be mobile all day. Alternate tricky cosplays with casual ones over different days. For instance, if you're wearing sclera contacts one day, maybe go without contacts the next day. Wear comfortable footwear regardless of if you're cosplaying or not. If you can, put a boot cover over it, great, but I think you'll thank yourself for just wearing comfortable shoes. Save the perfect shoes for the photo shoot. Speaking of, hire a photographer. Maybe plan one cosplay that you could have photographed the day before the convention on Wednesday, or a time that you could leave the convention briefly to go do a photo shoot. I'll list some of my favorite photographers in the area below. I'm also an option, but I'll be pretty busy on the day I'm there. So take care of yourself. Wear those comfortable shoes. So necessary. Even for the ball, they are going to have a coat check at the ball this year. Try to convince yourself to wear comfortable shoes in the first place. If you don't trust yourself to do that, bring backup shoes and put them in the coat check for the ball. Take a drink or fill your water bottle every time you pass a drinking fountain, every time, and pack electrolyte powder. Set a reminder on your phone for when to eat. Maybe that's crazy for some people, but this is what I have to do to not faint from forgetting to eat at activities. Soak in the fact that you are at Dragonsteel Nexus. You made it. You are surrounded by people who care about the fandom as much as you. Bring sound dampening headphones, something similar if you get overwhelmed by sound after too long. There's also a quiet room sponsored by Scenic View where you can go if you are feeling overwhelmed or overstimulated. That one's free. There's also a paid version of a quieter area, which this year is the Readwise sort of VIP lounge, and they're going to have relaxing couches in there. It's a way to watch some of the panels from a more comfortable place. Other things to do if you're visiting: go on a bookstore crawl. There are a lot of great bookstores in Salt Lake. Two of my favorites are the King's English and the Legendarium. And if you want to learn about some bookstores in the area, you can watch my bookstore crawl video. And I will have another one of those coming out eventually that feature a few more ones in Salt Lake. On December 3rd, the day before the convention, you could also go to Christkindlmarkt at This Is the Place Heritage Park, a German-inspired Christmas market in a pioneer village. Or you could do holiday tea at the Grand America Hotel. Now, if you're coming from the south or you don't mind taking an hour trip down south, there are some other cool things you can visit. First is Dreamscapes. This is sort of like a smaller version of Meow Wolf in some ways, but you can go explore different alien worlds. Really visually stunning place. I like it a lot there. Even a little bit further, but so cool, is Moon's Rare Books. If you haven't heard of them online, he has so many unique acquisitions at his store, and they have rotating displays of all sorts of first editions and movie artifacts and historical artifacts. It is such a neat place. One of my favorite bookstores ever. Also the Provo Mall. I know that sounds so random, but there's so many cool nerd stores. Particularly We Geek Together is an awesome gaming store, and they'll be at Dragonsteel Nexus as well. But if you want to see their actual storefront, if you're in Provo, it's worth a stop. Is this your first time at Dragonsteel Nexus? Here's a couple of tips especially for you. Don't miss Hoyd's Secret Museum. It is a really cute exhibit that shows different artifacts from the stories. And if the Dragonsteel shop looks really busy, then just wait for another time. The wait for the Dragonsteel store can be anywhere from 3 hours to walking straight in, so don't wait in line unless there's a shorter line, like 20 to 30 people. ADA assistants, they send out an email every year making sure that they are aware of everyone's needs. Usually you get a sticker for your badge letting squires know that you will need additional assistance. Check in for information when you enter. What if you haven't read any Sanderson? Don't worry about it. Don't feel like you need to know all the inside jokes. If you're here, you're probably a reader, a writer, a fan of fantasy, or someone in your family is. Regardless, welcome. We're so happy to have you. Just avoid the spoiler Q&As. That's all I have for now. What did I miss? Do you have any more tips or questions about Dragonsteel Nexus? Let us know below. Until next time, keep creating and stay ever adventurous. Bye.